Good afternoon, welcome to the Market Wrap. Number 129, Stuart Williamson here at the helm. Thank you very much for watching. Why do we do this sort of stuff? Really just to help clients make buying decisions as far as UK residential property is concerned. We started this right at the beginning of COVID. It's now 2.5 years later. We're still doing them every week. Just trying to educate people, help, give our point of view, and just take it from there. Now this week we're going to be covering just frequently asked questions, i.e. what are people, everyday people who are trying to make buying decisions about buying property in the UK asking. Okay, so I've basically got together a list of 10 questions that I've been asked this week, or our team has been asked. Okay, number one, is it worth it anymore given the changes in the tax situation in the UK? Is it worth it anymore? Well, if you go back to why do we buy property at all? The concept is that you put down, say, 25-30%, someone else will then pay off the other 70-75% for you, and at the end you earn 100%. That's the goal. If it goes up in price, then that's an added bonus, and you get some capital appreciation. But the goal really is to get someone to pay the mortgage off for you, and so helping you leverage up your deposit. So if we're paying more tax, is it still worth it? Yeah, compared to doing stocks or shares or that sort of thing, then there is no comparison. Compared to cryptos, again, the same thing. You know, it's a long-term, slow burn thing, but it does work very well. So yes, is the answer to that question. And that was from Stephanie, who works in Hong Kong as a teacher. Now, Olga, who is a Kazakhstani lady working in Dubai, is concerned about it being the right time to buy. Is it a good time with the current economic backdrop to be purchasing property in the UK? Jones Lang LaSalle did a piece of research, I think I talked about last week and the week before, as far as what's going on in the UK market. And they talk about becoming a two-track market if you have reasons for a property price to go up, i.e. you've got levelling up agenda, you've got good infrastructure, or as we call it, PIEs, population, infrastructure and employment. If you have strong population growth, if you have strong infrastructure growth, and you've got great employment, then that's a good place to buy. And that will always be a bellwether location. And JLL are saying that Manchester, Birmingham, London, Oxford, Cambridge, Glasgow, Edinburgh, all should fulfill those criteria. Other locations, perhaps not so. So those should be the bellwethers over the next 5 years. So even though you have got a recession here in the UK, it's still a good time to buy. And is it a real recession? I mean, normally you get recessions and you get growing unemployment. Well, we aren't getting that. Not at the moment, at least. Why do recessions happen? Because of over exuberance of borrowing, either by the public or by the government. We haven't got that either. It wasn't over exuberance that has brought us to this situation. It's the energy crisis brought on by the Ukrainian conflict and by COVID. So a lot of things that create recessions are not going on at the moment. So I don't think it'll be a normal recession. We won't have a huge dip. I think we'll just have a general slowing down. But what it has meant is that the employers have got more of an upper hand. So they're now saying, no more working from home, get into the office. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So what it's leading to is people keeping their homes out in the country, not selling them, but coming into the office to work. So they're renting studios, 1 beds in HMOs, they're renting 1 bed apartments, and that is how it's a good time to buy, according to JLL, in city centres, because that's what's going on. And if you look at the capital appreciation, the rental appreciation, in all those places that is happening. So is it a good time to buy at the moment? Yes, if you buy wisely and it's in the research-driven environments. Next question. Don't I need a large deposit? That's from a teacher again in Dubai. To buy a property, you need between 20 and 30% deposit. You can do that two ways. You can save up and put it all down at one go, or you can buy into properties that are being refurbished. So you might put down 10% now and 20% in 12 months. Or alternatively, you can buy off plan, and you can buy with 5% down and then say 1% a month over the 24-month bill period. So you don't necessarily need a very big deposit, and 25 to 30% is pretty average. Also, with that sort of length, the size of mortgage, you're going to get a better rate of interest. If you put down 5% or 10%, your interest rate is going to be higher because you're a greater risk, according to the lender. Where should I buy? Well, it really goes back to what we were talking about with JLL and pies. Buy with your head, don't buy with your heart. Buy where you have population, infrastructure, employment, growth. 95% occupancy. Also, do look at the quality of the tenant you're likely to get. That's important. Buy where you've got ABC1 tenants, or people who are educated management levels. And where should you buy? Look at the sort of apartments. If you're looking at apartments, look at the density of the apartments. How many people are living in it who are actually residents compared to how many are tenants? Do you really want to buy in a 800, 900 unit block? I don't think so. Most banks will only lend up to 15 units per development. So buying on something fairly small is a lot better. Easier lending, less moving in, moving out, more people living there who want to be there as residents, and more of an atmosphere if you buy a smaller development. I would try and aim really, if you can, for the 20s, 30s, that sort of stuff. Some are very good that are higher, but it's got to be quirky and special, for people to buy. So where should I buy? Look at what sort of property you're looking at. And that could lead us on to another topic, really. Houses or flats, which are better? Since flats now no longer have ground rent payable, they normally have either a 250, 300 year lease or up to 999 year lease. But the fact you don't pay ground rent now, it's all peppercorn rent, means there's not that much difference in between the two, apart from the fact you have to pay service charges on flats. Flats tend to go up in value quicker. Houses are longer term burners. So where should you buy? To go back to that question again, is buy in low density, interesting locations with good pies. Houses or flats both work. What will happen with rental prices is if property prices fall. If property prices fall, it basically means that you've got an oversupply, and so you'll have to reduce rents to fit in with that. That's all there is to it, really. You just have to bite the bullet for a while and just take a lower rent while we wait for prices to increase again and rents to increase. The overall view, though, is that there's such a shortage of housing in the UK, rents will not fall even if prices do. I want to buy a plot of land to build on. Can you help? It's quite difficult getting loans to buy land, and it's quite difficult to get loans to build property on land you own. So that's quite a tricky question. So that is Isabella, who's in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you really need to go to a specialist lender, and they will perhaps give you a stage payment version where you pay, they lend you a certain amount as every bid is done, i.e. first fix, second fix, electrics and so on. Loaning money to buy land and to build property is difficult, and you'd be much better speaking to a specialist person like Scott Mitchell down at the mortgage brokerage we use. How risky is it buying off plan? Well, there's three sorts of property we tend to do, which is existing stock that's out there ready to buy. You buy it, it's finished, no hassles, no worries, easy to do. We do BRRR, buy, renovate, remortgage, rent out. And that's where we find a discounted property, not discounted or cheaper property because it's a bit run down. Then we get someone to do it up for us within a set period for a set price. We then remortgage it. So buy it initially with a bridging loan, remortgage it, and then rent it out. So you have turnkey is the first one, buy something that's finished. Secondly, you have BRRR. Then you have things like off-plan. An off-plan can be something that's just being built, like we're doing some houses at Cambridge. They're being built at the moment, very popular. Or you get PDR, permitted development rights, which is where you buy something that is actually already a office block perhaps, then you turn it into flats. If you do that, you're doing it off-plan, is a delay. So it means it's not going to be ready for a year or something like that. So normally the builder will sell it very keenly priced, so at a very good price, because they know you're going to take the risk. And it's the same with a BRRR. You're taking the risk of doing it up, so you tend to get it at a better price. So you're making your money on the way in, as a builder would say. With buying turnkey, existing property, that's a bit different, because it's already done, there's very little risk. So you're going to pay more of a premium for that, but you'll have less heartache. So that's the general view of, is it good to buy off plan? It is, but look into the bona fides of the builder. Have you known them for a long time? Have they got a good references? Have they got 20-year track record? Those sort of things. Because there are a lot of dodgy dealers out there, so just be careful of that. Okay, final question. Should I do a fixed mortgage or should I have a variable rate? There's a lot of people rushing to get fixed at the moment because I think over the next 2 years rates will go up. So if you can get a fix, it's not a bad idea. Don't fix it for too long because in 2 or 3 years' time, rates will be coming down again. It's a case of trying to judge the market, and it's difficult to do that. So there we go, some frequently asked questions. I hope you enjoyed those. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, do like, fill in the information form at the bottom if you'd like to know more about what we do. It's just about information, about sharing the love. Thank you for watching. Cheerio. Bye-bye.